So Rick, you have been in many different venues. You've played in many different bands. Let's just look at this one for a second. Have you ever been to the Claremont Hotel before?
I haven't, and it's fantastic. I'm just thrilled to be here. It's a great place to play and to stay. We're looking forward to a night together. My wife is here, and we're going to enjoy a little honeymoon away from the kids for a minute.
Exactly. The best thing about coming to a gig at the Claremont is being able to stay at the Claremont. The Claremont's been here since before anything else was around it. There's some great pictures in the lobby.
I saw some of those.
This grand hotel and nothing.
Yeah, it's fantastic because there's sand dunes almost around it or something. It's
no trees.
Nothing.
It's just pasture land.
I know.
Just hills. So why don't we talk a little bit about your new album that isn't out yet?
The CD that I just finished working on, I worked on with Philippe Sace. And Philippe, produced one of my all-time favorite CDs, which is Gato Barbieri's Que Paso. And God, what an incredible piece of music it is. And Philippe came to visit, and he was thinking about moving from New York to Los Angeles, and I kind of took him on a tour of the neighborhood and introduced him to some people, and we had a great time, and we started working on some music, and he sent me what turned out to be the title track for the new CD. And the interesting thing about this track is I usually don't record pieces of music other than established covers that pieces of music that have been completely composed by somebody else. And Philippe just wrote this incredibly beautiful song. He brought it in, had the melody all written out, old school, had a chart, had the arrangement all worked out, and I just played on it like an old-fashioned session trumpet player. And it was one of the most beautiful pieces of music I'd ever heard.
What's the title of that?
It's called All It Takes.
All It Takes.
So that's the title cut from the CD.
So that's the new CD that's coming out.
It's coming out in July on Mack Avenue Records. Probably going to be on Artistry, though. I'm not sure which.
But your most recent one that people can get is
yours truly. Correct.
And that tells your life story through the music that has influenced you or you've been part of over the years.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a whole lot of great songs on there that have been a part of my life over the years.
I like the cover version of Walk on the Wild Side.
Yeah.
by Lou Reed.
Yeah, that was one of those songs that, I think when it came out there was no other song like it. But that was like something that made a big impression on me, and I thought it would sound great with a muted trumpet and acoustic bass, and it turned out it sounded real good that way.
Well, your muted trumpet playing is something that I think is almost a signature. Muted trumpet. Not everybody plays muted trumpet. No. What trumpet players influenced you?
Well, there's been a lot of big. Some of my biggest influences. The earliest one would have been Herb Alpert, because I was 8, 9 years old learning to play the trumpet, and he was a huge pop star. And on this new CD, the new single is a tribute to Herb Alpert.
Really?
And it's called "Do You Wanna Dance?" "Do You Wanna Dance?" And it's we're going to play it tonight in the show, and it's really fun. It's got a great feel to it, but it's got that Herb Alpert rise kind of a thing.
Kind of Tijuana brass.
And layered trumpets. Instead of, I pair a lot with saxophone, tenor, and all that, but this one pairs mostly with other trumpets, so it has that, south of the border kind of feel to the melody. But Herb Alpert was a big influence at the beginning, and then I went on to listen to people like Miles Davis and Freddie Hubbard, who, of course, sadly we lost this year. And I recorded a song and titled it after Freddie on my CD as well. It's called "Freddie Was Here," and it's just a beautiful, kind of a ballad. And so Freddie was a big influence. Clifford Brown was a big influence. Lately, Chet Baker has been a big influence on what I've been doing, and I started an interesting project. It's a tribute to Chet Baker, where I'm singing and playing some of his most noteworthy songs like "You Don't Know What Love Is" and "Just Friends" and "Let's Get Lost," and of course "My Funny Valentine," which is probably the biggest hit that he had.
Absolutely. Well, you've had a career that spans a lot of different musical genres. You worked with Rod Stewart. You were on tour with Sade as well. You also have become quite a well-known producer. I mean, if you go to AllMusic, there's 2 pages worth of credits for Rick Braun. Is there any particular work you're most proud of? Besides your solo work,
well,
and your own albums.
I've enjoyed everything that I've done, and I've just, the work I've done with Marc Antoine and Jeff Golub, that was really, I think working with Marc Antoine was really a special time, because at that time, Tommy LaPuma was still working at GRP, and so it was kind of being drawn into Tommy's circle, and with Bill Schnee and some of the great producers and mixing engineers in Los Angeles, and working with Marc was really a special time. We had a very fiery relationship, and it was fun. We just really made some great music together. One of the things that I did that's kind of off the track as well is I recorded on Tina Turner CD, on the Private Dancer CD, there's a song called Why Must We Wait Until Tonight, and that was really fun, because I was on the road with Sade in New York, and Roger Davies, who is her manager, also manages Tina Turner, and he was going to have Herb Alpert play on this track, but then he heard me playing with Sade, and he said, I'd like you to come and do the, so he flew me on the red eye. I just finished playing with Sade. I limoed to the airport at JFK, flew back to Los Angeles, got right off the plane, went into the studio at A&M, and there was Tina Turner in the studio, ready for me to play, and I got off the plane, get ready to play, and there she's right next to me in the studio singing in my ear what she wanted to hear from my horn.
That's beautiful.
And it was a real special time. I mean, this last year was I had a really amazing gig as well. I was the featured artist at the Governor's Ball for the Academy Awards.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun. It was really great to be there and have, people like, Leonardo DiCaprio, like right there, and, of course, Christopher Walken and Angelina Jolie, and my wife ended up actually talking to Angelina Jolie, and she was very nice. And
let's talk about the band that you have with you tonight. Who are we going to hear with you?
Well, it's a great band, and it's kind of an all-star band, because Greg Karukas is playing keys, and fans of smooth jazz know that he's a very successful artist in his own right, and I'm honored to have him here. He's going to play one of his own songs, "Girl in the Red Dress," which was a big hit.
Great.
And so we've got him. I've got Jimmy Roberts. Jimmy Roberts was in the Rod Stewart's band with me. We had a lot of good times together.
Bass player?
Saxophone
player.
player. And then Nate Phillips, who was in the Daz band. And we crossed paths when I was traveling with War way back in the 80s. And then, of course, Ricky Lawson is playing drums. Ricky is, one of the premier drummers of our time.
Toured with Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Steely Dan, you name it. He's recorded with just about everybody, and I've got him here with me today. And then Randy Jacobs is playing guitar. He's playing with Was Not Was, and he's recorded with lots of different people. I mean, he's on tons of records as well, and he's worked on my records, and he has his own band called the Bone Shakers, and they're very good. It's a very good band.
So it's an all-star band.
Really is.
The songs you're going to play tonight.
We're going to play Cadillac Slim. We're going to do Notorious. We're going to play Hollywood and Vine. We're going to play Greg's tune, Girl in the Red Dress. We're going to play Shake It Up. We're going to play Grazing in the Grass, Green Tomatoes. We're going to play Emma's song. We're going to play, I'm probably leaving a few out, but that's a good sampling.
Rick, it's a pleasure to see you again, and next time maybe you and I will go golfing and
well, we can try. I'm only good for about 4 swings.
I'm even worse than that. So. Okay, well, thanks, Rick Braun, here at the Claremont Hotel for a gig tonight, and it's a beautiful night in April 24th, 2009. Thank you. I'm Paul the Lobster Wells. It's been my pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be talking to you as well.